There was a moment in the history of this planet when two animals existed simultaneously that had no business existing simultaneously. One was a shark. 15 meters, 40,000 pounds per square inch of bite force. The most successful apex predator the ocean had ever produced. 20 million years of evolutionary refinement, and nothing in the water had ever threatened its position at the top. The other was a whale. Not the kind of whale you know. Not the filter-feeding gentle giants of the modern ocean. This whale had teeth. 36 centimeters long. The largest functional teeth of any animal in Earth's history. Not for filtering, for gripping, for crushing, for killing other whales. They lived in the same ocean, at the same time. For millions of years, in the warm Miocene seas between what is now South America and Africa, Ototus megalodon and Livyatan melvillei occupied the same water, hunted the same prey, and, the fossil record strongly implies, encountered each other. We do not know what happened when they did, but we can calculate it. Megalodon first. Ototus megalodon reached an estimated 15 to 20 meters in length. Possibly longer. The 2025 revision suggests up to 24 meters for maximum specimens. It weighed somewhere between 50 and 100 tons, depending on body plan assumptions. Its teeth, the only part of it that fossilizes, reached 18 centimeters. Its jaw opened wide enough to swallow two adult humans side by side without contact. The bite force? 40,000 pounds per square inch at the tooth tip. The strongest bite in the fossil record. Stronger than any animal alive today by a factor of several times. Its hunting strategy: pursuit and ambush. Evidence from whale bones shows Megalodon targeted the soft underbelly, approaching from below and behind, using the shark's natural advantage of speed and the darkness of deep water. The strike was designed to incapacitate. One bite to the abdomen or fluke. Then wait. Then feed. Now, Livyatan. Livyatan melvillei was named after the biblical sea monster and Herman Melville, the author of Moby Dick. It was a facetiroid, a member of the sperm whale lineage that lived between 12 and 13 million years ago in the same Miocene seas as Megalodon. Length: 13 to 17 meters, comparable to Megalodon. Weight: estimated 50 tons. Also comparable. The teeth, functional in both the upper and lower jaw, something modern sperm whales do not have. The largest teeth were 36 centimeters long, including the root. These were not filter-feeding structures. These were weapons, designed to grip, to hold, to crush. Livyatan's brain was larger relative to body size than Megalodon's. It was almost certainly capable of echolocation, the biological sonar system that modern sperm whales use both for navigation and as a weapon, generating focused sound pulses powerful enough to stun prey at close range. It hunted other large whales, not fish, not small cetaceans, other large whales. Two animals, roughly equal mass, completely different weapon systems. Same ocean, same prey. The Miocene epoch, 23 to 5 million years ago, was a different world. The oceans were warmer, sea levels higher. The shallow, warm seas that extended across what is now the coast of South America and the Pacific coast of Africa were extraordinarily productive. Dense with fish, with smaller cetaceans, with the medium-sized baleen whales that had recently diversified, and were now abundant enough to support predators of this scale. Both Megalodon and Livyatan needed enormous caloric intake. Megalodon, estimated at nearly 100,000 calories per day. Livyatan, as a warm-blooded mammal with an even higher metabolic rate relative to body mass, potentially more. The prey population was sufficient for both. In the Miocene warm seas, whale diversity was at its peak. Dozens of species, ranging from the small to the very large. The food web was rich enough to sustain multiple apex predators at the top, which is why they coexisted for millions of years without either eliminating the other. Not because they avoided each other. Because the ocean was large enough and the prey abundant enough that direct competition was the exception rather than the rule. But exceptions happened. The fossil evidence does not give us a direct record of Megalodon-Livyatan interaction. No bone has been found with bite marks from both species. No single specimen tells the story of a direct confrontation. But the circumstantial evidence is substantial. Livyatan teeth and Megalodon teeth have been found in the same fossil beds, in the same geological strata, in the same locations. The Pisco Formation of Peru is the most famous example. They were in the same water at the same time, competing for the same prey. And both species show evidence of conflict with large animals. Megalodon-bitten whale bones with marks consistent with large-toothed predation. The Miocene Ocean was not peaceful. A direct encounter between these two animals would have been determined by several factors. Initiative. The animal that initiated the attack had the advantage of surprise, positioning, and the first strike. In the open ocean, at depth, this was Megalodon's advantage. The shark's sensory system, the lateral line detecting pressure changes, the ampullae of Lorenzini detecting electrical fields, the ability to detect blood at parts per million concentration across kilometers, meant it could locate and approach Livyatan before the whale knew it was there. But Livyatan had echolocation, active biological sonar that could detect objects in total darkness, at range, with precision. If Livyatan was actively scanning, the approach window for Megalodon closed significantly. The first strike. Megalodon's strategy, the disabling bite. Target the fluke or the abdomen, remove the whale's ability to maneuver or flee, then wait for blood loss to do the work. If the first bite landed on the fluke, Megalodon wins. The whale cannot flee, cannot dive, cannot use its speed advantage. The 40,000 psi bite severs or crushes the fluke. The whale bleeds. Megalodon circles. The outcome is not in question. If the first bite missed, or landed on the body in a non-disabling position, the calculation reversed. A wounded Livyatan is not a dying Livyatan. A modern sperm whale, injured by a harpoon, has been documented attacking and sinking the ship that harpooned it. The famous case of the Essex in 1820, the real-world inspiration for Moby Dick, involved a sperm whale ramming a 238-ton ship twice, deliberately, sinking it. Livyatan was larger than a modern sperm whale. It had functional upper teeth that modern sperm whales lack. It was a predator, not prey, and its responses to attack would have been offensive, not evasive. If Megalodon's first strike was not immediately disabling, Livyatan could turn. In open water, a 17-meter whale can turn faster than most people intuit. The body is flexible, the flukes generate enormous thrust. A turning Livyatan closes the distance to a Megalodon in seconds. And then the weapons systems reversed. Megalodon's bite force was enormous. but its attack required approach from a specific angle, from below and behind. Once Livyatan had turned to face the shark, the approach geometry was broken. The shark was now in front of the whale's primary weapons, the 36-centimeter teeth, the crushing jaw, the focused sound pulse if Livyatan used echolocation offensively. A bite from Livyatan to the pectoral fin or gill region of Megalodon, at 36-centimeter tooth depth and the bite force of an animal weighing 50 tons, would have been catastrophic for the shark. The outcome of any specific encounter depended on which animal controlled the first 30 seconds. The fossil record offers one indirect answer. Megalodon went extinct approximately 3.6 million years ago. Livyatan, or its close relatives in the Physeteroid lineage, survived. The modern sperm whale is a direct evolutionary descendant of this lineage. The sperm whale lineage outlasted Megalodon. But this is not evidence that Livyatan defeated Megalodon in any direct competitive sense. Megalodon's extinction was driven by climate, the cooling of the Miocene seas, the contraction of the warm, shallow water habitat that supported both the shark and its prey. It was ecological collapse, not predation, that ended the shark's reign. Livyatan itself went extinct around 9 to 8 million years ago, long before Megalodon. The modern sperm whale represents a different branch of the lineage, smaller and behaviorally distinct. So neither animal won. Both are gone. What the Miocene ocean held for millions of years was something the modern ocean does not. Two apex predators of roughly equal scale, with completely different weapons and strategies, coexisting in productive enough waters that direct conflict was rare, but inevitable. The war before humans, fought in water we will never see, by animals whose bones we are still finding, in an ocean that no longer exists. The evidence is incomplete. The scale was not.